What is up, everyone? I hope you guys are having a beautiful evening this fine Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I am live on Rewired the Show. My name is Garrett O'Brien, and here I am. So, this past week, I've been kind of struggling on what I wanted to do my show on. I've been really thinking hard on something that I haven't covered really. And kind of just looked at things as a whole. And as the week went on, I started running into a lot of people that were just had these rancid attitudes and just negative and just completely draining. I'm trying to sit here and smile, and they're just completely draining my mind and my smile and just my happiness. And I could see it literally leave my body as these people are just sitting there talking and just the negative and just oh my gosh, it's very draining. I mean, some of you guys could probably relate to that because I mean, it's just so much negativity around that. I mean, it just clouds your judgment. It clouds everything around you. And the thing is I used to be a very negative person. I used to look at things in a way that I see something going on and immediately I'd have something negative to say, or I would talk about it in a negative manner to where I'd eventually talk myself out of going and doing things that were, essentially good for me. And the thing with that is negativity is very contagious. And positivity is very contagious as well. But the thing is it's harder to be positive than it is to be negative. How does that work? I've always had that question. I still don't understand how it works. But I do know it is easier being lazy. It is easier not getting up and forcing yourself to do things for the better. It is easier to sit down, lay on the couch, pick up the remote and watch TV and not really, focus on anything outside of yourself. Because that's basically what negativity comes from, is focusing on yourself. I mean, think about it. We are super critical of the things that we do in our own life. We are super critical of the decisions we make. If we make a mistake, we're always beating ourselves up. That is what I believe the root of the negativity in our life. Bear with me a little bit here because, like I said, I used to be a very negative person, and that's what made me a negative person. Refusing to get up, refusing to go out, refusing to do things other than just, get out of the house and stop sitting on the couch, stop playing video games, and stop surfing the internet or, surfing the channels or doing whatever. You got to get yourself out. So it brings me to my first point. Surrounding yourself with loving people that bring out the best in you. How difficult is that? Because the way you look at it is, sometimes we get in these moods that we see somebody who has a huge smile on the face and we try to avoid that person. I do that. I still do that. And the thing is you really got to force yourself to get out of that mindset of, I don't want to be around anybody today. I don't want to see that person. I don't want to see that person. That person's smiling too much. Get that crap away from me. That's the thing, is smiling is contagious. And, if you surround yourself with loving people, you, in a sense, will become a loving person as well. And the thing is I used to gravitate towards negative relationships, negative enforcement, negative, everything in my life somehow, some way was a negative. And hey, how's it going? I'm glad you're back. Good to see you. All right. Anyway, it's getting rid of that negativity is huge because it takes a personal step outside of yourself to do it. And when you surround yourself by loving people, you're just getting rid of that negative energy, and just you feel different. You feel weird. I mean, it feels weird when you're first in there because you're very uncomfortable. It's not your normal. You're very uncomfortable, and you're just like, I need to get out of here. There's too many happy people here. I'm better just going and sitting in my house doing nothing. So the company you keep should inspire you, should support you, should bring you the best you out in the light. And the thing is if you have friends that are, every time you go hang out with them and they feel like a drain, or they feel like they're just putting all this pressure on you, it's probably a better idea to get out and meet new friends. Because, those people are not going to be the best people in your life. I'm just updating this thing because I completely forgot to do that. I still got it set on episode 14. So I'm setting it to episode 15, and we're going to that real quick. Blah, blah, blah. All right, there we go. Okay, anyways. So moving on. Smile in celebration of all the good in your life. Because that's one thing that we don't do, is we don't look at the positives that we see all around us. Especially, when we get up in the morning. What's the first thing you do when you get up in the morning? I know I do. I started this whole new thing where I just asked to be a blessing to somebody. And that has completely changed my whole outlook throughout the day. It's weird how something that small can make me look completely different on anything outside. Because mainly it's taking the focus off of me and it's putting it on everything else outside of me. And that's huge, because I don't focus on the crap that's going on in my life. I don't focus on the bad relationships. I don't focus on the fact that, all I want's one good friend. And, that's the thing is, I have friends. I have good friends, but I don't have a best friend. And the thing is with that is I choose that. The reason why is because I've been hurt in the past. I've been thrown under the bus and hurt by people that have been close to me, where I actually put up a barrier and a wall to keep them from coming in close. But the thing is I have a lot of good friends. Not really a lot, but I have my tight circle. I keep my friends close, and of course, I keep my friends, small. The reason why is because when you have a bunch of friends, I mean, it just doesn't really feel the same as a tight group circle. You guys are operating on the same page and stuff like that. I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. I didn't mean to do that, but anyways, good friends are good. Smile in celebration of all the good in your life. Be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for the friends that you have. Be thankful for the family that you have. If you're in a bad situation, be thankful that you're alive. Be thankful that you have a breath. Be thankful you have 2 legs, 2 arms, that you can get up and walk out. Or, if you can't, you're able to focus on something else other than the situation you're in and focusing on yourself. So, you may feel like you don't have much to smile about, but if you start, really sitting down and taking 5 minutes every morning and just looking at the good that is in your life, you begin to create a new habit, a new habit to where you start to think differently, if that makes any sense. It's just, you can't do anything great if you're focused on yourself. And that's just one thing that I truly believe. If you want to help other people, you got to get out of your own head. You got to get out of your own mind, and you have to go out in the world and do it. And the thing is, despite your current circumstances, you can turn your whole life around by simply showing thanks to your blessings. Blessings being the fact that you're giving somebody a ride. You may not even know you're a blessing, but to that person, you're their saving grace. And the thing is you gotta just be thankful for the little things in life. I have a roof over my head. I'm thankful for that. I was homeless for, close to a month before I moved out to the Midwest. And the thing with that is you don't realize how much you have until you lose it. Don't be that person while you wait and lose everything and then realize what you had. Realize what you had before you lose it all. Because that's the thing, is being thankful and having, recognizing that you have all these blessings in your life. It's huge because there's just so many things that are in your life that just scream out at you. And this kind of moves on to another point of having a positive accountability partner. It is very important to be held accountable. The reason why is because you may feel like you're not stepping any boundary, you're not crossing any boundaries, you're not stepping on anybody's toes or anything like that. But if you have someone who's not afraid to sit there and tell you the truth, the cold truth, because the truth in my world always hurts. And I'd rather someone tell me the truth than to lie to my face and basically allow me to get into a situation where it's going to do nothing but destroy me. So have a positive accountability partner. You got to have somebody that is in your life that is able to keep tabs on you, and vice versa. Keep tabs on that person as well. Check energy, if that makes any sense to you. If a person is acting, look at me right now. My energy is up. I'm excited. I'm happy. Inside, am I happy? I don't know. But the thing is I'm forcing myself to smile. I'm forcing myself to be here. I am forcing myself to talk to y'all. I could have very easily just said, I don't want to do my show this week. I'm just going to go ahead and just, I'm done with it. I'm done. But you know what? I didn't. I forced through it, and I pushed through it because I have an accountability partner, someone who is always keeping me in check. The thing is if I allow myself to fall back into that negative, it's just a downhill, slippery slope to go back into the depression, into, the miserable behavior and the crap that I was dealing with. So, having a positive accountability partner is good. And if you, like I said, if you catch your partner or your accountability partner, getting stuck in a bunch of negative things, call them out on it. Because, excuse me, oh my goodness, I don't know why I'm yawning, but I got enough sleep last night. I am actually in my apartment, so I have the heat turned up because it's freezing cold outside. Despite my background, it is not snowing. But it is cold. But anyways, yeah. So having a positive accountability partner, call them out whenever they're doing something negative, and don't get upset when they call you out when you're doing something negative, because that's what an accountability partner is somebody who is willing to tell you the cold truth and the hard truth, to call you out when you're screwing up. It's very important to have. Have a positive accountability partner. Do it. If you can't find anybody who's a positive accountability partner, look at positive things on the internet. Look for positive people in your community and gravitate towards the positive. It's really easy to get stuck in the negative stuff. Like in my opinion, I don't watch any news stations, regardless of political affiliation. There's just so much negative stuff on the news stations. And I have a hard time watching that because I gravitate towards negative things. But I've learned and I've retrained my mind to block out the negative, attraction and focus more on the positive things and really gravitate towards the more positive. So this also leads me to my next. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be yawning all the time. I'm really not that tired. So, moving back over to the entertainment, the media, the stuff like that. You have to limit the negative media and entertainment that you have in your life. If you're always watching like movies and shows that have to do with death, that have to do with murder, that have to do with drugs or violence or anything like that, you're going to gravitate to that behavior. And the thing is I've noticed a slight shift in me over the past month and a half just by watching I definitely need some coffee, but the problem is I don't have a coffee maker, and I have coffee, but I don't have a French press or anything like that. So I'll be going out after this and getting some coffee and probably be up most of the night, but that's all right. Anyways, limit the negative media and entertainment in your life. Because like I was saying, I started watching shows that were negative, and I had, like I said, I gravitate towards negativity and stuff like that, just because it's human nature. So most of the time, the news, the radio, the latest big screen movies, and other modern media portray the world in a shallow, depressing, and hostile way. That is where a lot of negative feelings and negativity comes from. And if you're able to just put all that stuff aside, maybe pick up a book and read something positive or something that's, for personal growth, watch a movie on the Hallmark Channel. I mean, after all Hallmark channels only have like 15 actors and like one show with the same plot through the entire year. So, and they're mostly positive, and check out movies that are filled with laughter. Check out movies that have positive comedy. Look up comedians and stuff like that have a positive influence, stuff like that. Watching motivational videos is huge. And just like how I'm on YouTube, all these positive videos are on YouTube. So, I mean, you can search and look for positive videos that someone, teaches you how to do something or says something. Gravitate towards those. Force yourself to look at those. As much as, someone sitting here behind a table and a camera and a microphone controlling a show is super boring, the information may be actually good information. So, bear with me. In that way, you really need to replace negative habits with more positive ones. Just like limiting your contact to negative media, you can easily replace other negative habits in your life by more uplifting practices. Junk food, fast food, anything that has to do with fast or junk is probably not a good thing for you, because believe it or not, the chemicals in the food affect how we act, affect our behavior, and affect ways that we react to things, and it really messes with a person's brain. Try to gravitate more towards fresh foods, not necessarily organic stuff like that, but more like fresh vegetables, fresh fruits. Staying away from, I'm sure you probably all heard this before, that when you go to a grocery store, never go to the middle, always go on the outside, because all the outside stuff is the stuff that's good for you. Everything in the middle is the stuff that makes you fat. So you want to stay out of the stuff in the middle. And not only, does it make you fat, but it also adds to the chemicals in your brain. It affects the chemicals in your brain, and it also affects different areas of the brain, like caffeine, for example. If you have a lot of caffeine, it can affect your irritability. I noticed, when I drink a lot of soda, and I've been trying to get off this crap. This stuff is just, oh my gosh, I've never been so attached to something in my life. Let me tell you. But the thing with it is caffeine, once you stop drinking caffeine, it's just like a drug. Your brain starts wanting it. And that's the thing, is you start to have withdrawals. And with withdrawals comes behavioral changes and stuff like that. And with behavioral changes, you just, you do whatever you can to try to get it. and it's pretty scary in a way, you know. And you know, it's the same with anything else, any addiction. You know, I went through those type of withdrawals with video game addiction, and it, you know, believe it or not, if you have any kind of addiction to where you're replacing something in your life that causes, you know, that brings, you know, serotonin, it brings the positive, you know, the positive chemicals in your brain, and it just, you know, you have that feel good sensation when you're doing it, and then when you're done, you just feel like, whatever. You know, that's part of, you know, being in an addiction and whatnot. But getting rid of all that stuff, it takes hard work to get rid of it. And you have to replace that with more positive things. Like I said, fresh foods, you know, fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, drink more water, look for teas, stuff like that. Not like the crap, you know, like Lipton or anything like that that's, you know, that you buy in a plastic bottle. The reason why is because that stuff has high fructose corn syrup in there, and high fructose corn syrup screws with your mind. You know, you need to practice on flipping your focus. Like I said, it's very difficult to flip your focus. It's very difficult to change up the way you've been thinking for so long. But many times we magnify the world's problems while forgetting about all the positive aspects of life that are right in front of us. Take, for example, your own personal stuff. Like, when my marriage failed twice, that was my main focus. All right, I need to figure out how to get my wife back. I need to figure out how to do this. I need to figure out what's wrong with her, and never really focused on what's wrong with me. And we do that in a lot of things. You know, like, for instance, we're driving down the road and we don't even realize, you know, someone cuts over and you start honking. You get right on their butt, and, you know, you feel like, hey, you know, this person disrespected me, and, you know, I want to let them know. Well, the problem with that is we're focused on what that person did. We're not focusing on the crap that we're going through right now. We're not focusing on the anger and the resentment and the hurt and, you know, just the lack of feelings and stuff that we have, you know. And that's a huge thing where we have to start flipping the focus. You know, stop focusing that energy on others and start focusing that energy on yourself. Asking, you know, yourself questions like, what did I do to add to the situation? You know, this is where you start focusing on yourself, because this is where, you know, you grow. And you know, with that is, you got to ask yourself questions. You really need to ask yourself, what did I do that affected the situation? What could have I done better to deal with a more better outcome, or anything like that, if that makes any sense? Because, I mean, it's really easy to get stuck in, that person disrespected me, or that person made me upset, that person cut me off. Great, but what's going on with inside you to make you feel this way? That's where you really need to shift your focus. You know, focus on becoming more self-aware of your feelings and how you feel when something happens. Laugh more often. Make a joke out of everything. There's, you know, my new girlfriend that I have is a phenomenal comedian. The thing is she didn't even know she was a comedian. And the thing is she was just telling stories, and before you know it, we were both rolling. And I mean, it wasn't the matter of what the content of the story was, it was how she was saying it. And you know, it's amazing of how much stuff that's negative can turn into a positive. And laughing more often is healthy. You know, according to the recent study, children laugh 200 times a day, where the average adult only laughs 4 times a day. That's huge. I mean, kids, I mean, they get upset, but they're over it. You know, kids are laughing 200 times a day at minimum, according to the studies of where I got this from. And um, that's huge. That's huge. I mean, think about it. When you upset a child, they're upset for maybe what, 5, 10, maybe 20 minutes, maybe an hour. But then they're over it. They're outside having fun again. You upset an adult, and we're sitting here, we're dwelling on it, we're stuck in it. This could affect us for days, and we don't even realize it. And the thing is you have to force yourself to laugh. Force yourself to find other things to laugh at. Look at videos on YouTube. That's comedy videos and stuff like that. Watch TV shows that have comedy in them. Preferably clean comedy because, again, we're trying to stay away from that negative stuff. Sometimes when it comes down to it, we need to just disconnect from the world and learn to enjoy some quiet time alone. Being by yourself is not always a bad thing. Sometimes, I actually just went through this just the past weekend. I was, I've been doing a lot of traveling and stuff for acting. I've been in about 4 movies the past 2 months. And the thing with that is I was juggling that. I was juggling the show. I was juggling work, and I was juggling being in a theater production as far as directing. I finally told, my accountability partner, I need a break. I need 1 day, 2 days to myself. I don't want anybody around. I'm going to shut off my phone, and I'm just going to come down from where I'm at. And I didn't realize how important that was until the day after when I went back to work. It completely reset my whole state of mind and got me back on board for pushing through it again. And the thing is you need to go to a sacred place, like whether you have it in the woods, a coastline, anywhere you feel peace, anywhere that you feel that you can just take it all in and focus on something bigger than you. Turn off your phone for a while, learn how to meditate. Grab some solitude and just veg. I'm not saying to the point to where it drives you into a negative place. I'm saying just take a day of rest and just, don't overthink. Center yourself and get away from all life responsibilities for a day or two. Everyone needs it, whether they believe it or not. Everyone needs at least a day to themselves to recharge. One thing I love doing, I love giving hugs. And like Olaf says, I love hugs. And that's the thing is, I actually have a shirt that says I love you across it. And then I ask people, that read it, I asked, can I give you a hug? And I give them a hug. And that's the thing is, I've never seen a more genuine smile when I did that. I only got like 2 minutes left, so I'm going to push through this. I only got one more point to make after this. But giving people hugs is amazing. Physical contact, just knowing that someone is caring enough to express themselves in a way that is welcoming and loving. And that's huge, It sends positive energy to the other person, and it gives them a little bit of hope. If they're losing their hope, giving a hug gives hope. And I mean, you'll see me when I'm going around. I'm always going around and giving people hugs, and that's one of my buddies. Is he likes to shake hands, and I was like, you know what, we're bros, we can hug, and we hug it out, and and I mean like big bear hugs, and just let them know, like, look, man, I love you, brother. That's just how we roll. Make sure you cleanse your mind, your body, and your spirit. Your body is your temple. Not to sound super religious or anything like that. Your body is sacred in a way. You got to keep it healthy. You got to keep it strong in order to, keep pushing through your daily stuff. Always take care of yourself. Never let yourself go. That will just put you in a very dark spot. So take it from personal experience from me. Get out of your own mind. step out of your own stuff and your crap and just push through. Get to the other side and force yourself to smile. Force yourself to be happy, because happy is a state of mind. It's not an emotion. It's a state of mind. You need to make yourself happy. And that's the thing, is nobody can make you happy for you. You have to do it yourself. All right. So I love you guys. I hope you guys have a good evening. I appreciate you guys for, coming and joining me with my show. I love you guys. Merry Christmas. And I may be back next week. I don't know, because I think Christmas is on Wednesday. So I probably won't be doing my show on Wednesday. I'll get back to you. I'll show you guys a video, or I'll let you guys know on my Instagram, which is attached to a Facebook. You have all my stuff down here. Go to each of those pages and follow it, like it, do whatever you need to do. I update all 3 of them. So I will see you guys maybe next week. I don't know. We will find out. All right. Love you guys. Have a good one.